Okay, I thought I should just show this to everybody. You see 56 minutes ago, right? Now watch now you see that that's the main channel, right? Now watch when I click on it. Okay, everybody, I posted that video 2 days ago. So why am I getting a notification 56 minutes ago from a video that was posted 2 days ago? Doesn't that seem weird? There's no comments, but there was only what, like 4 views to that and then 2 likes. But you see where I'm getting at, right? Now let me go down a bit. What's that video I can find? Uh, it's like most of that is just about the. Let me see. Now you see that was 13 hours ago. So you see how this seems off, right? This isn't a notification from a different person. This is a notification from the channel itself. But it's from a video that I posted 2 days ago. I'm only showing this now just so people be aware that something's definitely fishy going on. I already knew this, like the enemy is, the owner of both Google and YouTube. I'm well aware of that. But the thing is, like, when I say, like, when I'm gonna abandon certain technology and certain platforms, I'm definitely mean like YouTube and stuff like that. So eventually the whole thing is that I am gonna abandon this stuff because here's the deal. Certain things they're using to control you as a means to basically, they use the fact that you need something in order to control you, right? Same thing is what happened with these gangsters. They're basically are corruptive individuals who are being used for a specific gain, and they're being offered money to do that specific thing. The more crap that they do, the more money they earn. But you see, there's a downside to all of that. You see, they accept that money, but you got to understand the money is the root of all evil for a reason. The more and more that money they keep accepting, the more and more acts they are basically doing to target individuals and stuff like that. The more and more corruption that they portray means the more and more their soul becomes corrupted. When this happens, they begin to start losing chunks of their humanity over and over and over again until you're basically left with a person who has absolutely no sanity, no bit of humanity whatsoever. They are literally are just addicted to torturing people. They're addicted to the money. These people are slaves to their own greed. They're slaves, if not slaves to their own greed, then they're technically prostitutes to the devil. Literally, they'll just. I mean, you see the shit that they do. They'll tell a dude to go out of his way to literally bend his ass over in front of a TI just because he's being paid to do so. You seeing people do, man? I'm telling you, they have done some seriously questionable things, and it gets worse. It gets much worse. But I'm only bringing awareness to this for everybody because I understand it doesn't make sense how it says MMCI strategy got uploaded my BitChute channel. That video was not uploaded today. That was already uploaded, and I'll show you again. This video was uploaded 2 days ago. Published on June 11th, 2020. So why is this thing coming up as to now? This is my other point of what I'm getting at. People, you need to start and if you're wondering, yeah, my BitChute channel is on. You can see the guide channel right there. But this is what I'm getting at. You need to start migrating your content now because YouTube just cannot be trusted. They can't. The people who are the owners of YouTube are the same people who are no different than the people running Facebook. They can't be trusted. But yeah, man, like that's just it though. I mean, that's just it. Like these are just people who have long since sold away their humanity. And they have absolutely no problem doing half the stuff that they do. And it's just like when you see this, I'm starting to get the feeling that people who do stuff like this become more demonic, as a result of their frequency being lowered, as a factor of them like losing more and more of themselves, and more of them just going down to that pitter part of darkness that brings the worst out of them. Literally, you can't be around these people without negativity being in the air. They have nothing but negative things to talk about, negative things to do, negative things to act out, and that's it. That's every day with them. It's all nothing but negative. You will never hear anything positive coming from people like that. Never. And they get this sick and twisted laugh from doing this stuff. They literally get a laugh. They literally find it funny to literally torture people. They literally are fine with stalking people. They have no problem with this. And I don't understand how a person can just justify anything else and act as if they're innocent doing shit like this. And even if they're not the ones doing it, you're still aiding the people who are doing it. So you're just as guilty as they are. And they use the most sorriest ass excuse ever. Oh, I got to do this to protect my family. First off, when you hang around people like that and you basically are working to issuing shit like that, don't you not understand that you're basically going to be also subjugated to the same shit that you enforced? And maybe not you, but do you realize that it's either going to be your kids or your grandkids? Can they really guarantee that they're not going to become a target individual? Can they really guarantee that shit? I mean, look at Zacchaeus' situation. His family was a part of that shit and he got targeted. Why? Because he wasn't down with that shit. He wasn't supporting that crap, man. He wasn't going for that. They wanted him to, but he said, no, fuck that. No. They don't think about the consequences that come from their actions, man. They don't. And I don't really think they care. I don't think they can. I really don't think they care. They may be the actual offspring of Satan. They probably are. I mean, a person who could literally just be literally that fucking greedy. I'm gonna show you a clip, and I'm not gonna claim no copyright to this, but it's a scene from one of my favorite anime shows, DMC, Devil May Cry. You're gonna see what this guy did, man. Dude, this episode. It was the very first episode of the series, right? So what happens is this kid named Patty Lowell, right? She apparently is coming from this orphanage, and there was a bunch of other stuff that's related to her past. I'm not getting into that because then I'll be spoiling it for everybody, right? I'll be spoiling it for you, so I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, the first episode's not too much of a spoiler. But anyway, she ends up having Dante as a bodyguard, right? So he ends up having to fend her off from all these damn demons that were basically being sent after her. There was a fucking demon who wanted the freaking family fortune so bad, he was willing to send demons to basically kill a little girl. He was sending demons to kill a little girl, man. You think that's bad? The minute Dante makes it to the house, they find out that apparently the woman the real, inheritor of that money wasn't the little girl, but it was another woman with a similar name named Patty Lowell. And she was an adult who basically directed all the media attention to a little girl, putting her in danger while she was just, catching a flight, making it all the way down her scot-free. Man, all of that happened only for basically that one of the brothers who was basically related to the guys the dude who basically passed away, to who he was basically passing on his inheritance to. Now, if she hadn't have made it there, they would have all just split up his wealth for themselves. Now, what happens is, as soon as she makes it there, he ends up saying, no, this is no longer necessary. You don't have to provide no identification. All of a sudden, the guy who hired all those damn demons basically turn into a demon himself. See how that works? I want people to understand what I'm getting at here. The people who that individual hired turn into demons. The actual person who was doing the hiring was a demon himself. He was a fucking demon himself. And it was crazy because throughout the whole episode, the dude is in human form. You don't see any sign of demonic energy coming from him until he takes his glasses off and transforms. So I want people to understand, when you accept that money, you are accepting a branch, a root to all evil that leads to that main tree to where the source of evil is at. And the more and more of that you keep accepting, the more and more part of you you're going to start losing. The more and more you're going to end up becoming corruptive, the more and more you're going to become something less human. You're going to start finding it being okay to torture people. You're going to start to find it okay doing the things that you're doing. And you're not even going to see any problem wrong with doing it. And understand that of what you are turning yourself into, your kids have to be around that shit. Understand, that fucking monster sent demons after that kid. So then you got to question this scenario here. If a demon who was willing to go that fucking far, doing some shit like that. Remember what that lady said? The media attention. So he knew that was a kid that he basically sent demons after. He knew it was. Well, now let's look at the other fellow TIs. Let's look at the situation here as it is in reality. You see these gang stalkers do all of this deplorable shit. You see these agents who they report back to. Are you not seeing a connection there? And the people beyond these agents are Satanists. Do you still not see the connection there? Do you still not see the connection there of all of this shit that they are basically are helping? And they trying to claim off, if they have the nerve to basically act as if they're right, they're the ones who are basically within the right, they're okay, and ain't nothing wrong with them. Are you fucking high? I literally think they've been basically snorting too much cocaine. And by the way, some of these gang stalkers are drug addicts. Some of them are drug addicts. Some of them are basically junkies. Some of them are what else? What else? There's so much more to it than that. They get the worst of the worst off the streets to do this dirty shit because they already are basically pilfering themselves into their addictions. You'll have these motherfuckers smoking weed in front of cops. You'll see them snorting cocaine in public. And it got to a point to where I remember who was that? Vulcan Wolverine mentioned that one of his gang stalkers had actually stolen something out of the store where he was in, and he thought he was just gonna walk off and get away with what he was doing. And he didn't realize that they weren't the shop owners weren't a part of that shit. So they immediately called the cops, or was gonna call the cops. The dude put his shit down. He took the fuck off. I'm gonna repeat it again. The same individual who hired those people to go after that kid was a demon. And the people who went after that kid was also demons. All of this shit was related to money. All of it. I want people to see that connection. The root of all evil is what will turn you into a damn demon. That money will bring the worst out of you. And they see this shit too. They know I'm right. They know I'm right. Have they not been stalking people? Have they not been doing that whole psyop bullshit? Have they not been gaslighting people? Have they not been helping the people be tortured by these directed energy weapons? Have they not done that? So who's the real demon here? Because it ain't targeted individuals. I tell you that much damn well right now. It ain't us. This is why people who are that far gone, this is why I'm talking about how they are destructive towards themselves as well as the people around them. This is why they are a threat to not just themselves, but to the people around them. In fact, let me make sure this damn thing is recording. Okay, awesome, it is. I had to check because sometimes I don't know what the hell's wrong with this. Sometimes it does record, sometimes it doesn't. But I just want people to understand that, man. Now I'm gonna play the clip. I'm gonna have the clip at the end of this video for you all to check out. But like that's just it. When you see that shit, you're gonna start to understand like that's no different from what we're dealing with now. Because don't think about them transforming. Think about their actions of what they're doing. Think about that shit. You see them do this shit. You see them laugh it up, getting off of it, knowing that you're constantly being tortured and manipulated on a daily fucking basis. And they still laugh about this shit. They seem to be A-okay with it. They seem to not have a problem with it. Again, the more and more they accept that dirty money, the more and more they turn into a damn demon. But if you read the Bible scriptures, man, you'll see that the devil technically is the one who turns on these people. And you want to know what? You want to know even more of a coincidence to this shit is? The demon, the man who hired all those motherfuckers, right? All those other demons. He says this out of his own fucking words. The fortune is all mine. And it doesn't belong to anybody. Every motherfucking demon who that bastard sent after that kid all say I was gonna be greatly rewarded for if the others failed to do this, like all this, that, and the other thing. They were offered money to do this shit. The same fucking root of all evil that turned them into that. People turn into demons. They basically show their demon actions when they act out and do shit for money. It is a fucking seed to convert your soul to basically allow it to be devoured by who? The devil. I don't know how fucking obvious this shit can get. And I guarantee you, I'm not the only one who basically watched that anime. There's other people, other fellow TIs who probably watch anime as well. But I'm going to let you guys check that out. All right? Again, there's no copyright claiming. The people who originally owned that clip, all copyright goes to them. All ownership goes to them. This video is not for profit whatsoever. I have to say that before the clip even plays now. It's not for money in any way, shape, or form. It's just for educational purposes. No more, no less.
Strawberry sundae. This is a bar, mister. No place for a kid.
Really? Just trying to sweeten up the air in here. Smells like shit. Or more like blood. That's fine with me. Because what I'm interested in is this rumor I heard. They say that somewhere around here there's some bar. More like a dive. A place where they'll take someone's life in place of money. Kinda scary.
Sorry, forgive me, pal.
Royal straight flush, is it? Laying a hand like that could kill a guy.
How about I buy you around?
Mr. Royal Flush. time you open up shop, don't forget to add strawberry sundaes to the menu. Bingo. Yeah, my usual pizza. And special with prosciutto and garlic potatoes. Yeah, rush it. What? My tab? Ah, don't sweat the small stuff. Soon I'll pay you for everything I owe you. Oh yeah, no olives, and be sure to make it a large. Don't forget.
Are you listening to me, Dante?
Didn't you hear me? I'm studying. I may take the occasional odd job here and there, but I've got no desire to babysit some brat.
Brat?
Sorry, young lady. Maybe in 10 years or so, I'll ask you out on a date.
And I'll tell you no in 10 seconds. Me, I'm only into younger guys.
Listen, Dante, she may be a kid, but, oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. But the young lady standing before you is not just any girl. She's Patty Lowell, the Cinderella girl who's heiress to the Lowell family fortune.
Sure doesn't look like it.
That's because all this time she's been living as an orphan downtown.
I can tell. Kinda like Cinderella, but after the magic wore off.
Actually, it's the opposite. The head of the Lowell family passed away. When the will was read, the existence of an illegitimate child came to light.
And the lucky winner was our young lady Patty.
Precisely. In other words, the magic is just about to begin.
If you like, I could always hire you as my very own personal servant.
Yeah.
Basically, it's been requested that you escort Miss Patty back to the Lowell mansion by 6 p.m. tomorrow. Think you can handle that?
That's all?
That's all.
I won't do it. I've got a pizza on the way.
There's no pizza on the way. I stopped by and talked with Andy at the pizza place and told him that till you pay your tab in full, they're not to deliver a single pizza to you. Capiche?
You bastard. What right do you have to? Shit, not again.
If you win, I'll pay your tab in full. And if you lose...
Fine, alright. I know the routine. Heads.
You're not much of a gambler, are you?
Shut up.
Dante, you forgot something. You've got a show to play, right?
A show?
Don't forget, I'm counting on you.
I could come and see your show. I mean, there must not be anyone who comes to see you otherwise, right?
Sorry, but my shows are for adults only.
So the woman in that picture is coming to your show then, huh?
Picture?
Well, whatever you do, you should buy yourself a new car. I don't see any romance happening in this car, that's for sure. It's dirty, it stinks, and it's falling apart. Don't you know? When it comes to women, it's not where you take them that's important. It's how you get them there.
Dante. This girl's life is mine.
Hey, are you even listening to me? Like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? What was that all about? Don't you think that's a little dangerous? What are you trying to do? Kill me?
Can't you do something about this, bro? You are a lawyer, aren't you?
There's nothing that can be done. If the person who sent that letter, Patty Lowell, actually does exist, the fortune belongs to her.
You're kidding me.
Relax. Take it easy, big bro. If that letter isn't a fake, then Patty Lowell will come here around 6 o'clock tomorrow evening.
That's what I'm worried about. Tomorrow at 6 in the evening. That makes exactly 1 week, doesn't it?
If Patty Lowell's existence is authentically proven within 1 week of the death of the Lowell family's head, then the entirety of the family fortune is to go to Miss Lowell. Well, unbelievable that our ever so serious brother had an illegitimate child all this time.
So, you can look cute when you want to. Is that a picture of your boyfriend?
No, it's my mom, you halfwit! And she's a lot prettier than your girlfriend. But I don't remember anything about her. My mom got sick and died when I was just a baby. That's what the hospital director said. That's why I don't remember anything about my mother. The only thing I have is this picture of her.
Wow, that's one pretty lady. That wouldn't be a picture of your mother, would it? Hey, and you're pretty charming yourself. You mind if I sit here?
There are open seats all over the place.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you. I hope I'm not bothering you.
Okay, before I continue on, I want people to remember one special thing, and remember possession, and then think about this technology and what it does. Think about what this technology that infiltrates your mind, that basically use subliminal messaging. And I am talking about the directed energy weapons, right? Think about what they do. Think about how it allows them to basically manipulate your thought patterns, your choice reference patterns, and be able to basically even control you. I want people to think about that while they're watching this, right?
You're not bothering me, but I can't promise that you'll live long.
And what is that supposed to mean? I mean, really, why would anyone need some promise like that just because they sit?
Good grief. That's why I told you.
He's dead.
Oh, Mommy. Oh, Mommy.
He was beat to death. Damn.
It can't be. Was it you?
Over here.
Jeez, what is this? You. How about you start telling me what's going on here?
Sure, so how about I run this little scenario by you?
Huh?
For the 10 seconds or so that this train was in the tunnel, in this car there was those three, me and the girl. And then, our dead friend here. That makes 6. First off, the old man. He didn't do it. And the couple there was making out in the dark. And that's how she was.
So that only leaves you.
No, there was one more person. Or to be more precise, one more thing.
That man on the train. Do you know who killed that guy?
Who knows?
It was a demon. He was killed by a demon, wasn't he? Could a demon...
I want to point out another key point. When you have situations with like mass shootings and whatnot, you need to think about a lot of that stuff that happens. What drives a person to do such a thing? Not just the mass shootings, certain unusual type murders. There have been several reports of several different ones that have came out to where there would be people saying that they hear like voices in their heads and whatnot. People need to understand that these are domestic terrorists using directed energy weapons to basically rob people of their minds, to basically cause them to commit a crime. Unless we basically get rid of those people who are doing this, I'm afraid we're still going to have to deal with a lot of these unusual problems that happen. The common explanation is that there's obviously foreign involvement with this. And what I mean by foreign, I'm talking about people who are not being seen amongst the scenes. But there do have people who are connected with them who are basically in the scene to basically divert and also report back. To basically direct, attention from the people who hired them and also report what their findings back to the people who are mainly responsible. It is because of this process that has happened that this stuff still continues to go on even to today.
You'd be hunting me too? Dante! Dante!
Let's go.
Checkmate.
Damn, I lost again.
Ever since we were kids. You've always run out of steam in the closing stretch, and that is why Jenny left you.
It's because you got in the way.
No, that was because you were at fault for jumping to conclusions.
Shit.
But what I'm wondering is why you seem to love that painting so much.
Yes, I guess it's because looking at it puts me at peace. And I think when we divide the fortune among us, I'll take the artwork that's here.
Me, I'll take cold hard cash.
Hey, don't get ahead of yourselves.
We know, but we have to be...
Greed for both either money or collateral. Such things. But you got to understand, people seek to get money to get things. You see how that process works? So in the end, the greed still lies with, it still goes back to the root of all evil, despite the fact that it's going to collateral.
prepared for the worst. That's all we're doing.
Welcome to our hotel.
Give me your cheapest room. I don't give a damn if it gets sun or not. We'll be out of here first thing in the morning anyhow.
One adult and one child.
Oh, she's not a child. She's a young lady. What are you doing? Come on, move it. Let's get to sleep.
That's my mother.
What?
My mom. Mister!
Yes, what is it?
Where can I go to meet this woman?
Well,
What are you talking about? I thought your mother died. Come on.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a psyop tactic. Now, they'll do many different things that basically catch your attention. To basically, things that only you would know. To pretty much catch you off guard, really. And many of these things is basically to manipulate and basically project and also trigger a line of thought process, that of which they are predicting with the technology. Now, how do they infect you with this technology? Well, it's from the chemtrails. If you need proof of that, you could see me using my anti-nano bucket video. You could literally see me using the anti-nano bucket, and you will see the stuff that came out of my system just from using that. That is not something you normally would see coming out of a person. That is not something that's supposed to be within the human body. That, everybody, is basically proof that I was poisoned. Myself was poisoned with nanotech. For how long, I have no idea. But I do know I have had these symptoms of a lot of manipulation going as far back since I was a child. There have been several times to where I even myself have passed out due to this.
This is a tight fit. Get to bed. Tomorrow's gonna be an early day.
I didn't tell you the truth. My mom didn't actually get sick and die. She disappeared. I happened to overhear the hospital director talking about it. My mom was being hunted by a demon, and she didn't want me, a baby, to be in danger, so she put me in the care of the orphanage. Anyone hunted by a demon is as good as dead. Is my mother really dead? Tell me, Dante, am I going to be killed by a demon too?
Who knows?
I don't care about any fortune, and I don't care about my family's inheritance. If I were to get a little money, I'd just want to use it to buy lots of clothes and sweets and stuff like that for the other kids at the orphanage. But then, clothes and sweets and those kinds of things aren't really what they all want. Like me. They just want to see their mothers and their fathers, more than anything. You're probably just going to laugh at me.
No. Everyone wants to see their parents.
Dante?
Well, sorry. But I've got a date with some pretty girls in Sandman Land. You get to sleep too. Hey, where's my daughter?
Daughter?
The kid I checked in with.
Before I play this any farther, and I want people to understand, you notice how like she woke up due to the sound? You're gonna see where she's at later on, but that's another sign of manipulation due to the directed energy torture. Now, none of these characters are shown to basically go through any of this, but you can actually see the characteristics of it showing out. So it still makes as a good example. You know, as you hear the singing, it wakes her up. She goes off, wanders off, and now Dante's looking for her. Right? That's just another obvious sign of this. And again, if people want to know where this nanotech is coming from, we have people amongst us who are poisoning our own kind with this stuff. We have these planes that are spraying this out all the place. And then to make matters worse, this stuff is getting into the crops. Even farmers who are not putting this stuff directly in their crops, they have to deal with the problem with the airflow basically, blowing this nano poisoning stuff that's in the oxygen that they're putting in, getting onto their crops and infecting the gene code of their crops. So you see how that works? It's an issue even when they don't do that directly, because it's basically the elements allows them to do it for them.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Bastard. What the hell are you?
Speaking of hell, you should know I know all about you.
Yeah? Then you know that thing won't be enough to kill me.
Another sign, the enemy basically tells any individual on the payroll any bit of information that basically they basically put the people who are on the payroll to literally go against the target. And I do mean it could be as far as any means necessary. And this is nothing new right here. There have been occurrences to where some TIs actually have been threatened, at gunpoint, and many other occurrences to where but it's all a psyop. The whole point is to basically trigger and make it seem like the individual target is basically paranoia. Everybody, when they go to a target individual's channel and they call that person paranoid, they call that person insane, crazy, or any of these hurtful comments. These people who do this are basically financially motivated to do so. They're basically trying to neutralize a target individual from speaking out because with the knowledge that they find would help millions. So you got to understand, there would be people who are just as motivated to be paid off, just as motivated to keep information to getting out public.
Aren't you? So, where's Patty?
Well, all right. Well, you see right now in the underworld, the four most powerful demons are vying for power. Things are pretty dangerous out here.
Deep state. Shadow government.
So who's calling the shots?
Huh?
Who's the douchebag who told you to go after Patty? It must be someone from the Lowell family. Someone who doesn't want Patty to claim the inheritance.
I have no idea. I'm telling the truth.
Another observation thing right there. Family is definitely known to basically turn against target individuals as well. It's nothing new. This could be as far as well as this stuff going as far as from your job. Can be people just in your neighborhood or people within your own damn family that does this. Now, this is a common tactic for all TIs because this has happened a lot. And if you were to have a discussion with them, they will tell you exactly what they have gone through. They will tell you that a lot of these people they were paid off to psyop them, to straw bed them, and so much more to basically make it seem that they're in a state of paranoia. Why? Because these people are the people who do that shit, who basically try to psyop them, are financially motivated. That's why they do it. You would see that shit from a completely different angle. You would never even guess that people are paid to do some of these stupid ass things, but they are.
Just one of their grunts. They don't tell me anything at all.
The lookalike tactic. They've done this before to where like and especially from a fellow TI, I believe his name is Wayne Morris. He also was basically mentioning how like they would use a doppelganger tactic on them, to where like they would have a person look like extremely like a complete copy of another person. They're two different individuals, but they would basically run a psyop tactic to basically do that in order to gain information. They'll use people who are closest to you for infiltration purposes. They'll do this as far as family. They'll do this as far as relationships. They'll do this as far as marriage. There's no boundaries to their corruption. There's none.
I'm sorry, Patty. I won't do anything to make you feel lonely again. Oh, Mommy, you promise? Because you're about to die right now and your mom's gonna kill you!
Hey there. You're not actually into lame operas like this now, are you?
Dante! I thought my mommy was...
But looks like we'll have to wait for our touching finale. Sorry, honey, but this show isn't for kids.
Now, I want people to understand one simple thing. Remember the color harassment that a lot of these target individuals, not target, what the fuck am I saying? That a lot of these perps usually do to target individuals. Now, you may notice Dante is in red, right? But if you look at the lore of Devil May Cry, you would also see that technically Dante himself is a demon. However, he's a demon who uses, both the power of a demon and a lot of different other methods and things against those who are basically fully demonic, fully sinister, and basically want to prey. And this just isn't in the Bible. Those who would eat my people up like they would eat bread, right? Except there's a difference to this situation here. He uses the power in a lot of the tactics against them. He uses that power against them. The same way that they're basically trying to psyop him and do all of this shit, he does it back. Gives them a taste of their own medicine. Have you seen the reaction of a freaking, narcissist when they get a taste of their own medicine? Is freaking hilarious. Now, I'm not in no way, shape, or form saying that there's a devil within us, but I'm just saying, here's the thing. If you allow yourself to be consumed by hate, that hate will basically devour you. But you can use hate as a tool. You can use it as a tool, but don't ever let hate conquer you. Don't let deceitfulness conquer you. Instead, if you feel hate in your heart, you need to convert that hate into courage, to bravery, to selflessness, not selfishness. You need to convert that in a way to where you be able to help those around you who are suffering just as well as you are too, who have been lied to and blinded by the corruption for so long. I sure as hell ain't a demon, but I know for a fact I'm not a saint either. I mean, we've all did some things that we regretted in our, in our times living this life. You can't get through life at all without even committing a single sin. Like I believe that's impossible. But it doesn't mean that you cannot seek forgiveness for those sins. Forgiveness is always there. You just have to be willing to reach out for it, you know?
I'm so sorry, miss, but I'm afraid that it is now time for you to die, because I was promised I would be greatly rewarded by my masters if I killed you if the others failed to do so.
Hit the road.
Time's up.
Brother, we did it. The fortune is ours. This letter was just a bunch of nonsense.
You have a guest.
A guest?
Thank you.
And who might you be?
Oh my, that's not funny. Nice to meet you. I'm Patty Lowell.
She's just a child.
No, that child is nothing but a fake. I took every situation into account. Fortunately for me, I was able to find a girl with the same name quite quickly. I had it arranged so that all the media attention would be on her, not me. Thanks to her, my trip here was quite pleasant. Well then, why don't we just hurry and deal with the formalities?
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid your claim is invalid, Miss Patty Lowell. Speaking as the lawyer, I regret to inform you that you have renounced your right to the inheritance as you missed the 6 p.m. deadline. You are aware you've missed it, right? Even if it is just by a mere second or two.
Really now? In his will, it says within 1 week of his death. I'm quite sure that my dad will have been dead for exactly 1 week at 6:28. And look, I am on time. Will a driver's license suffice for my identification?
No. It's no longer necessary.
What do you mean by that?
Because Patty Lowell's existence will never be confirmed.
Brother! And neither will yours. The fortune is all mine, and I'm not handing it over to anyone!
So, it was you who requested I serve as a bodyguard for Patty. Did you think you were making some small atonement for your sins against her? You've got a pretty face, but you're more terrible than those demons. Well, if you were a demon, I'd be able to kill you without thinking twice about it. Okay, if I can't let this go, I'll work off the anger. Guess this would be one hell of a party!
I saw it all! The adult-only part!
Wait! Please wait a minute. I'm begging you. That child, please let me take care of her. I want to do what I can to make amends.
Now, I want people to understand the sins and psyop tactics that that these perps use against target individuals are same tactics that are being used along against their kids as well. One thing needs to basically be cleared out. They do send kids to do psyop tactics to other kids. This has long since been confirmed. They've even gone as far as to even use these weapons on unborn children, okay? So these perps who are aiding these people to use these who use these weapons on individuals and their families, they have no problem with using this on defenseless unborn kids. If you wanted to see if you want to see documentation of that, you can basically check back on one of my older videos. It basically shows what Brian 2 went through, the assault that he actually went through in public, in broad daylight, by the way. He revealed the psyop and was telling all that had happened, and the dude basically still assaulted him in broad daylight. In front of everybody, for everyone to see. For everyone to see. They broke his leg, and he's in a wheelchair now, unfortunately. He's been constantly trying to get asylum, but they have run repeated psyop tactics against them in that fashion, to where it's just always excuse after excuse, lie after lie from them, and it just doesn't seem to stop. They are addicted to people to be basically tortured.
So, is it alright that you're not staying at the mansion?
It's fine. I received compensation.
Compensation?
Yep, because I'm a little girl who's been scarred from being exposed to the ugly world of adults.
And those clothes, are those the compensation?
As well as the clothes and sweets for the kids at the orphanage. In all, 3 truckloads.
That's great. Well done. Huh?
Morrison, you're here.
Yeah?
Huh? I thought my strawberry sundae would be delivered here by the time I got out of the shower.
That strawberry sundae?
What? Hey, that was mine! What the hell do you think you're doing? This is my place! Let's get this straight. My place. Mine.
It was totally filthy and dorky, so I cleaned it and did some cute decorating.
Cute's a relative term. I'm more concerned about my goddamn dessert.
That's what I charge for my work. Thanks. It was the best Sunday ever.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there. This was only for basically educational purposes and nothing more. I used this video specifically to basically point out some key factors of similar things that many of us target individuals are going through. Now, I want to keep you all in mind, none of the individuals in this anime are going through, actual mind manipulation or anything like that. None of that is happening, as you see. However, certain factors are very similar to that of which target individuals are dealing with. And it basically still serves as a good example when pointing this stuff out. Now, there's no copyright claiming for any of this, right? There's none. There's no profit gaining from this from me whatsoever. I'm only using this for educational purposes, nothing more, nothing less. Now, if you heard any background noises, you have my most sincerest apologies for that. That's them just doing their psyop stuff to basically, the best way I can tell you is that these types of people are attention whores, okay? I believe that's the best explanation I can give you. And they really are attention whores. I mean, it's in their character. They're paid to be attention whores. Hence, basically, gang stalkers are or should I say, gang stalkers or threat assessment teams in this fashion are basically prostitutes to the shadow government, because they're being pimped out on the daily to basically do the psyop stuff that they do. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope the rest of your day goes well as the rest of your weekend. Stay safe, stay strong.